Hello everyone, today we'll be doing a solo Grandmaster run, Birthplace of the Vile, with Warlock. For my loadout, I'll be using the Prismatic, Warlock, Song of Flame. Here are the mods and fragments I'll be using in this video. For my kinetic, I'll be using Lost Signal, and then next I'll be using Trinity Ghoul with the Catalyst. For my heavy, I'll be using Seraph Saw machine gun. And I am using the tonic bottle as well to blind enemies, the high power H2O, high quality H2O. You know, Waterboy reference? That's some high quality H2O. I want to try out the exotic bow, since there's really no bows for this season. Maybe next week we'll have bow artifact mods or glaives, but I want to try out Trinity Ghoul with the 7 Seraph Saw machine gun and Lost Signal. I'm mainly going to try my best to focus the Trinity Ghoul. I won't be using too much of my super. I did use a lot of Transcendence so I can make sure I do DPS, Unstoppable Champions, and Overload Champions. The exotic bow, Trinity Ghoul, is one of my favorite exotics, and I've always wanted to use it on a certain build for GMs. And what perfect way to try out Trinity Ghoul is going for the Birthplace and with the Brawn mod. So there is a couple of 2 champions. I think the Meteor or Fireball new Jutsu Bang fell off because of the Raiment-coat exotic for the enhanced turret. So I mainly want to use Trinity Ghoul so I can get a lot of arc. So I can get kind of like similar like arc chain reaction, but with Trinity Ghoul and with the Catalyst. Every time I get a kill, can basically jolt the enemies. And because of the artifact mods, we can blind the enemies as well. You can also use your arc machine gun too to blind the enemies. But the only thing I had trouble when using Trinity Ghoul was the snipers. The snipers were the ones that were giving me trouble. And probably sometimes the boss when he kind of glitches out. I didn't really have any problems when capturing the plate so much with Trinity Ghoul. I had no issues so much. The only issue was the raiders. That's pretty much it when using this build. Because when you are using the exotic bow, you could just keep spamming it over and over. You can also chain up with Transcendence, with the machine gun, and you can just take down the stalkers, the scribs, when they spawn. Pretty fun. I mean, right now I'm just going around, and then just using Trinity Ghoul, and using Transcendence to capture the plate. Another cool thing is that this week is Arc Surge, so because it is Arc Surge, your exotic bow is going to do more damage, which is awesome. So I'm going to throw an enhanced stasis turret. I'm going to be looking for orbs because I do want to get more of my grenade. So now we're going to be clearing out all these stalkers, and then we're going to clear out the raiders. They are really annoying to deal with, but we can blind them with our machine gun, which I will show very soon. So you can see the corrupted raiders are blinded because of the artifact mod build and the tonic bottle. So now these corrupted raiders are a big joke for this GM because you can blind them, you can use a machine gun, highly recommend any arc. The arc machine gun I'm using is Volpal weapon and auto-loading holster. I do have one with field prep, but I thought it'd be nice to use auto-loading holster for this build. So I am going to be using my super because of Unstoppable Champion. Yes, I could use my stasis turret, but I do want to use my super for this. So make sure you take him down. Then you could take down the Overload Champion. I was quite surprised that the stasis turret was keeping him busy. So we are going to go to the next area, and there's going to be an Overload Champion. Now Trinity Ghoul is pretty much OP. I mean, you can just clear down all these stalkers in one bow, or maybe two bows, but you'll see what I mean. It's pretty OP. So I am going to throw a stasis turret so I can make it even more fun. And then I'm going to use Trinity Ghoul, and then I will clear all these stalkers in one bow. I mean, look at that. That is way too OP. But you know what? I don't really mind it at all, honestly. I do like that you can make weapons powerful based on the GM. I mean, imagine if it was Arc Hunger. I mean, look at that. Right. So I am going to go to the shortcut because one of the Scorn ads keeps shooting arc, and I didn't really want to bother myself trying to hide and shoot. You know, just sneak up on them. We do have a bang of mine, so be aware that they can hurt you when they get on alive, and then they set up mines. Now, for some reason, the mines are not too dangerous for this GM because of the Varan. But I know for other certain GMs, they could be an issue. So I am going to be collecting orbs. And you can see that it didn't really hurt me too much. So then we're going to go to the next area. Now, this area is where people, they don't like this room. But with the power of the Trinity Ghoul, power, you can take down the scribs with one go. It is ridiculous. I mean, look at that. Look at all of these arc chain. It's like having chain reaction with this bow and jolting feedback. A little bit. Not 100%, but it's really cool. We're getting the buff. We're getting the lightning rod. Basically arc chain reaction. And we are just taking down all these raiders like it's nothing. Are you going to throw stasis turrets so I can take down the raiders? They do like to shoot a lot of void, but because we are just standing here and because the stasis turret is going to do all the dirty work, the raiders are not going to be a big threat. I mean, look at this. And I'm about to get my grenade again. Alright, so we do have an Overload Champion up ahead, so make sure you take him down. I am going to throw a stasis turret. Now, if I had jolting feedback, I would stagger the Overload Champion, but I don't have it. Alright, so once we take down the mini boss, I'm gonna go and look for some orbs. And now we're gonna go to the next area. Yes, the one where we capture 2 plates. Now, like I said, when using this build, the hardest part is not capturing the plates. It's actually the boss fight. We're dealing with the raiders, the snipers. It's gonna be your big issue. And then the bridge a little bit. Unless you control a bit of your Transcendence and Super, then you should be good to go. So there are 2 unstoppable champions. I did use my Transcendence. I can keep one busy, clear down the raiders. One of the unstoppable champions will walk up towards you, so be aware that they can be sneaky. And I'm going to be throwing a stasis turret very soon on myself, so I can deal with the unstoppable champion. If the unstoppable champion is getting a little too dangerous, you must use your machine gun. And the machine gun I have is with Volvo weapon, an auto-loading holster, and then you can go back and forth with your grenade launcher as well. So once you clear all the ads, then you capture 2 of the plates. So everyone's different. People like going to the right side of capturing the plate. People like to go on the left. Now, I like going on the left side because the left plate is the hardest to capture for me, in my honest opinion. I know for some players it falls, the top right is the hardest to capture. For me, it's probably the left side for me. I am going to throw a stasis turret at myself so I can get the stasis soul. Yes, this stasis little orb, stasis soul or orb is going to help me do extra damage when using machine gun or Trinity Ghoul. It's really, really cool. Really love it. So when capturing the plate, make sure you take down the mini boss. That's why I highly recommend, if you're using Rime-coat, throw it on yourself. Get a stasis mini turret and the stasis soul to help you out when capturing the plates. This is the method that I use pretty much for all GMs. And I'm trying to think of an example at the moment. So the best example I can think of right now is Inverted Spire when capturing the 3 plates. I do like throwing a stasis turret on myself. Or sometimes I like to throw an Overload Champion. If the Overload Champion is the issue, it depends of how I feel, for example. So I am going to capture the 2nd plate. Now this is really interesting where I'm just going to be spamming the exotic bow over and over on the left and right side. Not really worried too much from the far close by staircase from the right side. I did try to use my bow, and then there is a bang, but the good news is not a drainer. I hate drainers, honestly. They're probably my worst enemy, and I really despise it. And then the worst part is we're going to have more bangs. We're going to have one that is nuclear bang where it tries to go kamikaze on you. Yeah, I know, funny. It's hilarious, but I don't think it's going to be fun for solo GMs. Then we have one that's unpunchable, where it's immune to everything, I think. And the only way to take it down is to punch it. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Then we had the Berserker one, where they start to run towards you and get all aggressive. Then we got the Hard Bang, where it actually gives you health. Okay, I'm joking. We don't have a Hard Bang, but it would be kind of cool if it gave me some health or something. But anyway, we are going to take down the unstoppable champion. Make sure you use your grenade launcher and machine gun. Alright, so now we're going to go to the next area. Now this area isn't so bad. I mean, on the old version, I really hated this area so much because sometimes, believe me or not, the raider one-shots me when I'm standing here. So they did nerf the Overload Champion, the sniper, for this GM, because I remember they sniped me when I was standing here, one-shot me. And it was absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking about when Birthplace of the Vile was new, very new. There was just a lot of weird things going on. And the void nades were also one-shotting me as well. So I am gonna take down the Overload Champion. If you do see heavy bricks, you can leave them and save it for the boss fight. So that's pretty much what I did for this run. So you can save your special ammo or your heavy to take down the boss more faster. Especially when dealing with champions at every phase. We'll talk more about that later, because I do want to talk a little bit more about the 3 phases. Which one is the easiest, which one is the most annoying. So now we're going to be dealing with more Overload champions. Yes, 5 types of Overload champions. You know, my favorite one's a Lava Overload champion because it reminds me of Hollow Layer. When I had to deal with a Lava Overload champion and it one-shot me at the boss fight. You know, it was just ridiculous. So make sure you use your bow, take them down, go use your grenade launcher. Then we're gonna go to the bridge very soon. Now the bridge can be RNG of the mini bosses. They could be Arc, Void, Solar, or Lava. For some reason, I'm not sure why. That's probably the biggest issue when going to the bridge. I know in my honest opinion I would prefer to use Anarchy and then just go and spam heavy with grenade launcher, and then you can just easily take down the whole bridge in less than 2 minutes. Pretty much. Or 30 seconds. You know, depends if you're speedrunning. Alright, so we are gonna go for the bridge area. Everyone's best friend. Gonna throw a stasis turret. Right? And then take down this boss with Transcendence. I mean, isn't this relaxing? You know, Liminality is this week. Isn't it funny that this week was supposed to be Birthplace of the Vile, but Bungie said, nah man, let's put Liminality. Isn't it great? Especially on New Year's. You know, I always thought New Year's supposed to be relaxing, new beginnings, and then we get Liminality. Great, right? Perfect. Perfect date. Not everyone's gonna remember. That's the funny part. Not thinking about it. So now we're gonna be taking down all the ads, Stasis Bang, and then we're gonna go and take down the Unstoppable champions from far distance. So one thing you can also do is use your super. I think I did use my super for this run. I was just trying to take down this mini boss. Just want to be super careful when trying to deal with this glitchy Unstoppable champion. I mean, does my eyes deceive me? Did you see the Unstoppable champion that teleported all the way from the left side? I mean, seriously, what is that? Magic. Bungie magic. So I'm gonna pop these super. I'm gonna take down the Unstoppable champions as best as I can. Now always remember, when you are low on your super, make sure you throw a stasis turret on yourself to protect yourself and to deal with the Unstoppable champion. Like this, for example, where I just spam my machine gun. I'm using the Stasis Soul as well to do more damage. You can see, pretty much OP. So yes, there are ways where you can throw the enhanced turret on the enemies, but throwing on yourself is also a good idea for more defense. If things are not looking good, like for example, Unstoppable champion's way too close to you, and you need to stagger it, and you don't have an unstoppable weapon. Only your abilities. Alright, I'm gonna do a mini time skip here. After spending 1 minute of my life, sadly I didn't get any ammo. So I am gonna throw Stasis turret to trap the overload. And then we're gonna start the boss fight. Now here's the weird thing. So remember in my last video, the boss always runs away from me? Well, in this footage, he didn't really run away from me. He actually wanted to just get too close to me, which was pretty annoying. But I'll talk more about that later. We are going to take down the Overload champion. But you can see I'm trying to take him down. The boss is just being really weird now. Now it's being aggressive. Before it was running away from me when I was using Anarchy. I'm a little baffled because before it was not doing that. So make sure you take down the Corrupted Raiders. The Corrupted Raiders are going to be your worst enemy when using Trinity Ghoul. And also the boss likes to immune the enemies with its annoying ability, which highly recommend. Take it down with your machine gun. Don't bother yourself using the bow. Use your machine gun to break the immune ability. Alright, trust me, you don't want to use your bow. It's just too slow to reload. You want to take it down quickly as possible so you can do more damage to the boss. So I am going to be using my machine gun. I'm really low on heavy, which is not looking so good. But like I said, you can throw a stasis turret on yourself. And you can see that it's pretty good, pretty OP. I mean, right now the boss is just, behaving. I'm really surprised. I mean, he ran away the last time with Anarchy. And then he's behaving. He's staying in that spot that he's supposed to do on my other videos. But for some reason he didn't do it. So I was just quite shocked. And yes, I could do more damage to the boss and get to the boss fight. But I wanted to focus on using the exotic bow. There are many phases, probably 8 to 9 phases of the ad spawns. I do want to show that Trinity Ghoul is going to be your best friend for the first phase, and I would say 70% on the second phase. I'll explain a little bit more why. So the first phase, Trinity Ghoul is your best friend. Second phase, it's okay. It's just that the bosses, the ads are more tanky, and for some reason we get a lot of bangs at the second phase than the first and third phase. It's so weird. They changed it. Maybe it was supposed to be the sniper phase from what I remember on the old version, and they just decided to change it into bangs. That's my conspiracy of why there's so many bangs at the second phase of the boss fight. I hope I'm wrong. I like to be wrong because I have a curse of being right, So I am going to take down the raiders with the exotic bow. Make sure you just spam it. Infinite ammo. No need to be scared of wasting ammo for your bow. Make sure you do look at how much ammo you have for your machine gun, because during the second phase will be the perfect time for you to spam the machine gun, especially dealing with the Unstoppable Champion and then the Scorn Ogre as well. Another thing I like to say is make sure you have your grenade when going to the second phase and the third phase. That way you can throw a stasis turret on yourself or to the Unstoppable Champion. Depends of the situation. Because the spawns for the Unstoppable Champion is completely RNG. There is a animation spawn of the cloud bigger than the other one. But for me, I sometimes can't tell even with these glasses. I mean, that's just me. But anyway, we're going to take down the Overload Champion. We're going to go to the next phase very soon. Alright, so I do have enough heavy, and we're going to go and harass the Unstoppable Champion. Isn't going to be fun? This beats Liminality, right? Okay, I'll talk a little bit more about Liminality later. But anyway, we are going to take down the Unstoppable Champion. And like I said, make sure you use your machine gun. I didn't do that, so biggest mistake. I didn't use my machine gun right away. I should have used it right away. That was a big mistake there. I messed up, almost messed up for this phase. So the second phase can be a little bit weird as there is a fireball no jutsu. And then there could be a shocking, a drainer. You know, just be happy it's not the nuclear or nuclear bang or unpunchable, because they're going to be the most annoying to deal with when they do get introduced for this GM. Alright? And it's going to be pretty annoying. I really not going to enjoy it so much. I really hate the meteor. And I do hate the healing too. You know, they're my worst enemies. I'm going to have the nuclear. It's going to be my worst enemy as well. Maybe unpunchable too? Not sure. But yeah, so during this phase, you just stay in this spot and the boss is behaving. I mean, can you believe that? Can you believe this boss is behaving when I'm using this exotic bow? It's like it knows. It knows this game is just not looking good. And it's like, yeah, let me just stay here. It gave up. It gave up trying to run away. You know, usually it does, especially when he has all these collection statues, these artwork, sculptures all over this boss room. What is true? I mean, look at it. Think about it. Look at all these art sculptures. He doesn't destroy them, and then when you're behind the sculptures, don't wanna hurt you. You know, doesn't want to hurt you when you are behind the sculptures. For some reason, it's even worse on the ones in the middle of the map. He really doesn't want to hurt you when you are near the exotic sculptures. So we are going to take down more of the phases, and we do have the shock bane. I was pretty lucky here because usually you get a drainer. You know, thank the Bungie. Or thank Cade. You know, thank Cade that I didn't even get it. Or the Traveler and the Speaker. I didn't get the drainer for this phase. So just make sure you clear down all the ads. Might as well just use the exotic bow to take down the ads just to show you how powerful. But the second phase is probably the most annoying and the hardest to deal with. You know, let's just pretend it's not Braun. You know, let's just pretend. Second phase will probably be the hardest to deal with, in my opinion. Birthplace of the Violet, it's a joke for this week. But trust me, I swear to the Bungie, this GM is it was so difficult. If you don't believe me, just watch my old video, you'll see what I mean. It's really bad. I think right now Bungie's just testing out these new GM mods to see what works, what doesn't work. That's how I feel right now. I am going to be working on Liminality. It's going to take a couple of days, maybe a week. 3 to 4 days, maybe a week. I'm not sure. It really depends of how the boss is going to go. My problem is not the maze. It's just the boss fight. The last phase is going to be really annoying. That's probably going to be the worst part. And it's probably going to take more than an hour, or almost an hour for Platinum rank. See, my plan was waiting for Act 3 and having better mods to deal with Liminality. That was my plan. For some reason, Bungie put Liminality, and I'm just like, what? Excuse me, what? I was baffled. I mean, it's New Year's. I thought Bungie maybe was gonna put Birthplace of the Wild just for us to have fun for this week. But nope. Liminality. Now everyone's gonna remember. So that's my plan. Liminality is gonna take a while. I will try my best to go for Void Hunter class with no Prismatic. It's gonna be tough. I'm not sure. I might just say, you know what? Prismatic ability spam. Let's go. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. Really need to do some tests for Liminality Hunter, but avoid Hunter, not Prismatic. Okay, maybe Prismatic if Liminality is really bad. But Blitz, it has Oscillation. Just use Prismatic. Oh crap, really? It has Oscillation? Okay, I'll stick to Void and see how it goes, alright? And then if it's really bad, Prismatic. Alright, so now I'm gonna be throwing my stasis turret. And we're gonna deal with the lava overload champion. What, you didn't think there was a lava for this phase? Yeah, there is a such thing as a lava overload champion. I mean, look at him. He's shooting lava. See? And now he's immune. The boss keeps throwing all these immune stuff. But like I said, use your machine gun. Don't use a bow. Biggest mistake. Why should I try to use a bow? Don't bother yourself. Just use a machine gun. Try to do your best to take down the overload champion. There is times where the boss got a little buggy and really weird. Like, look at that. Like, what was that? Did you see that? Walking towards me super fast. That was just so awkward. See, imagine on the old version. He could have just stopped me and then I get one shot. You know, just letting you know the old version versus the new version. Alright, so I am having bad luck over here where I'm supposed to take down the lava overload champion, but it's not. It doesn't want to go bungee. It doesn't want to be unalive. And it is just being so awkward. It is hugging the boss. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, look at that. I'm trying my best to take down this overload champion. Alright, we finally defeated him. Thank the bungee. I am using the enhance stasis turret. So now I am going to be using my super right away. I mean, look at him. He's not even running away. And you did this on my last video, boss. Like, what the bungee is this? I think this game is just done. Alright, it gave up. Anyway, we are finally going to take down the boss. I did pop a transcendence because I thought he wasn't going to be unalive. So we finally took him down. We got platinum rank. Alright, for players who get angry when I miss one champion by a glitch. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.